Hello and welcome everyone, my name is Drewstalgic and we're here today with a special live stream session with Rare Rawington. Hello there Sam, how are you doing today?
Hey, pretty good Drew. Glad to be here, man.
Good. Yeah, so we just we did that collab a few weeks ago with playing Battletoads, and we enjoyed it. We're just doing another one here of Diddy's Conquest, and as a part of it, we're kind of having a big discussion about the DK franchise, and we expect to have a very good and fun conversation. We see it looks like a couple of people in the chat. We have Josh XD and Dank Means. Welcome to the stream. Thank you guys for coming. So Sam, I think I just wanted to go ahead and we'll just get this started here with let me go ahead and turn off this music here, and we'll get the good old game audio going.
So David Wise going.
Yeah, good old David Wise. Now, you like the new stream starting logo? Well, thank you. Yeah, it's just I kept it simple, but I think it works pretty well. We're going to be playing this with two-player team, kind of switching back and forth as needed with like dying or just when finishing a level. So the first, I posted a few questions on Twitter, but one of the questions, the one I wanted to start with on this stream was kind of what was your introduction to the Donkey Kong franchise, and I wanted maybe first ask that to Sam here. What was your introduction to the Donkey Kong franchise? Sam, are you still with us? Hello, Sam? Wondering if we might have just... I wonder if... Did we lose connection there? I don't know why, Sam. I don't know if it's... hello, can you hear me now? Hello?
That was Discord. That was Discord's issue there.
That was Discord. So did you hear my question there, Sam?
I only heard the first word.
Okay. Yes. So Sam, I was just starting out with the first question I have up here, which I asked to people on Twitter. Just what was your introduction to the Donkey Kong franchise?
Man, I think I answered this on Twitter too, but I had to really think back on this one because it's funny. Donkey Kong Country 1, and I think we've discussed this before. That was the game, besides like Super Mario Bros. And Super Mario Bros. 3 especially, that like sold me as a gamer, as a little child. But prior to Donkey Kong Country 1, I believe my introduction to Donkey Kong was actually the NES version of the OG arcade Donkey Kong, and that was my first experience that I can recall ever seeing Donkey Kong, the Grade 8. So that for me is like one of my first games I had ever played. But of course, Donkey Kong Country was the one that made me fall in love with the franchise.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think we can say that for a lot of it's just the original Donkey Kong Country, and yeah, as for myself, I think it's kind of similar. I think the first introduction I had to the DK franchise was, in fact, the was the original arcade game. I saw that, and I could never get far in it. I don't think I could ever even get past the first level, but I did play that a few times as a little kid, and then one day I wander into the KB Games and Toys. And Donkey Kong Country was there, and that was shoot. I tried to be fancy, but I'm gonna go ahead and
the warm up.
It's the warm up, yes. But yeah, I went to KB Games and Toys. They had a Donkey Kong Country there, and it was actually on the first boss fight. So I played it there, and I was just amazed that they could do those kind of graphics back then. And I wanted the game. I begged and begged for the game, and my cousin had it too, so I played it at her house sometimes. But I really wanted the game, and at the time I did have a prominent mole in my forehead, and my mom told me, like, okay, if you can be brave for the surgery where they have to, cut it off your face, I will get you the game. So I think I believe his intranet is gone. Let's see, Deg Means is putting that in the chat there. But I've been talking for a while. Can you not hear me, or is something not coming through? Is it me? Sam, are you still there? We seem to be just
sir.
Okay. Can you hear? You can still hear me? Okay. But anyways, yeah, put in the chat if there. Just keep putting in the chat something that's not coming through in one way or the other. We have a new subscriber. Thank you so much. But yeah, so that was kind of like my start with the franchise there. And of course, I love Donkey Kong Country 2 when it came out. Now, right now, what I'm going to do is go over some of your guys' answers here for your introduction to the franchise. I have it pulled up. Slayer Santiago, he said that he rented Donkey Kong Jr. back in the NES at a video premiere back in the 90s. A simple yet fun title. And Donkey Kong Jr., I don't think I've ever actually beat that game. It's kind of a hard one.
Dude, Drew, I actually have never played Donkey Kong Jr. I will admit, and it looks like it's you now, Drew.
Yep.
I was checking the stream there, and I looked away for only a second. But yeah, I've actually never played any of the DK Jr. games, and I think I could be wrong, but I think Donkey Kong 3 actually stars DK Jr. as well. But yeah, I've yet to play those games, and I know they offer them on the NES NSO. So I'm gonna have to give them a try here.
Oh yeah, for sure. I did want to mention that this music playing right here, Jib Jab, just one of the most awesome tracks in the game from early on. It's such a good one, such a good one here. Jib Jib, yes, it's a really good one. I'm gonna go ahead and switch. You can go ahead and take over again here. Maddie's Masquerade started with Donkey Kong 64. Breadbug here started with Mario Kart Wii. Honestly, Funky's known for this game far more than any actual DKC game, which I know it is arguably true. I would say, honestly, because he kind of took on a personality of his own in that game. And yeah, this is you again. What you're saying, you played DK on the NES. Chris Bodger, we have an interesting response from him. He said that back in the day, McDonald's gave out DK Frisbees. I need to look up what these look like. I need to kind of see what these are, because they said they had a bunch lying around, bleached by the sun, playing with them with his dog. So that's an awesome way. And then eventually he got introduced to the games there. We have something from Aiden here, AS1112, says he was at a friend's house and he was playing his Game Boy Advance, stuck in the minecart level in DKC1. Never seen any game like it before. And the graphics looked awesome. Yeah, the graphics looked so good back in the day. I think a lot of us did struggle with the minecart levels back in the day. All right, let's go ahead and I guess it just automatically switches us, which is interesting. Oh yeah, that's kind of cool. All right, so then let's see. I'm trying to think of where to go to next from here, but talking about a little bit about this game here. First of all, Sam, I apologize. I keep feel like slightly a broken record. Are you still with us, Sam? I think Discord is just having a few issues today. But yeah, we should be able to get that. Should be hopefully back on with us soon. It might also have to do with just my computer itself. I'm trying to put a lot of stuff here. What's more iconic duo than Samurai Tour Dixie or Donkey Kong? I have no claims to iconicness. none whatsoever. Jay Waldemams III, it's great. It's awesome to see you here. Thanks for joining this live stream today. We're just playing some of this amazing 2D platformer. Although I think we are having a few connection issues with Discord. I'll need to... Oh, I think it's time to switch with Sam. I don't know if he got disconnected from the game as well. Oh, there he is. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll kind of see what he's going to go ahead and play, and we'll see what's going on with Discord there.
It's still just Discord kicking you out, I guess, Drew.
I guess. I see. Yeah. Now we have Sam back. Oh man. But
yeah, I guess Discord just giving you the boot over and over. Hopefully that stops. I don't know. I don't know what with Discord right now.
I don't know what's going on with Discord either. It just seems to like being a little bit temperamental at the moment, and it could be just with the multiple things I'm putting into the stream here.
Oh, shoot.
But yeah, here. Now I want to. So talking about how was my day today? My day was really good. It was kind of a long day at work though. Trust me is one thing. I want to expand this chat here. One sec. Fair share of reactions done through Discord. It can be a pain. Ben 182 evening. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Okay, we're going to find a DK barrel here, and then I'm going to want to go ahead and discuss some more of the questions and some of your responses and stuff. So, oh, it looks like it's switched over to Dixie Kong.
All right. Well, do we want to give Kong College a visit really quick?
Yes, so we do. We need to save our game.
Purely just for the song. And I suppose we'll just be using save states when we get down to it, so maybe saving won't be too necessary, huh, Drew?
But I guess we might use it that later on, but it's still good to use like the regular. I still think we should step on the Kong College whenever we can. Interesting one here. DKC was the first one he actually played any DK game, but the first one he actually owned and beat was DK64. Great game, actually. Milk Dud says here that my dad had an SNES when I was a kid. It was the first console I ever played on. I still own it. We had all 3 Donkey Kong Country games and I played them in order, so DKC was the first DK game in the series I played, but gravitated towards DKC2 as my fave. Kind of a related question here on that topic of like overall favorite Donkey Kong games. Now, one question I posted on Twitter that had... go ahead, Sam. Sam, I heard you say something. Were you having issues again?
You were cutting out a little bit.
Oh yeah, I hear you again. Okay. But anyways, so Sam, we were just going on to like the question that I posted was just how would you personally rank the 5 Donkey Kong Country games? And out of all the ones I posted, that one got a really huge response, like at least over like 300 replies, a whole bunch of quote retweets and such, and like a lot of people just gave their input on that one. And as for me personally, I'm just going to go ahead and list what I personally consider to be my top 5. One is so number 1 is going to be this Donkey Kong Country 2. I just think it's like the most perfect 2D platformer ever created. So a little bit behind that is going to be Tropical Freeze, a really just good modern interpretation of the DK franchise. Then we have kind of in the middle, I would say probably beyond that too, I kind of tend to flip my answers. I'm not bothering with the bonus bonanza. There's not much to that there for me. But so kind of in the middle, I kind of waffle between 3 and number 1 for the 3 and 4, and I kind of put Returns at the bottom. Not to say that any of them are bad games by any stretch of the imagination. I'd say all of them are great games. Just I guess different varying levels of greatness there. Sam, what I know you posted that. Would you mind going over your ranking of that as well?
Yeah, so mine's alternated over the years due to Tropical Freeze, but yeah, I'm usually pretty consistent. So for the country games, I will admit, just due to my age and how I grew up as how I was introduced to games as a gamer, I gotta say I have a little bit of a bias, obviously, for the Rare.
Yeah, the Rare trilogy is definitely like really goated there for sure. And I think the mic cut out again. We'll definitely tinker around with some stuff to kind of see like using Discord in the future for these types of things for sure. Okay. I'm just trying to. Yep. Up. There we go.
Discord did not accept my answer.
Discord did not. Yeah, I heard. The last thing I heard you say was like I'm proclaimed towards the original Donkey Kong Country trilogy, and then like it cut off after that point.
It's like, no, this guy doesn't like returns, no. But no, just to kind of echo, as long as we're in here, to echo what you said, like, they are all gems. Like, the entirety, even the Retro Studios entries of the Country series, they're all some of my absolute favorite games. So they're all complete gems to me. But my order would be probably, as you said, DKC 2 for me has to be the top. Just for the place it holds in my heart. And like, I mean, as a kid, I think I've possibly said this online, but my parents, after I had an NES when I was a 3-year-old, luckily, they, I think for my 4th birthday it was, or somewhere around there, they went to a pawn shop and came home with a whole bin of SNES games and a SNES. And one of the games, or rather 2 of the games I had, was DKC 1 and 2. So for me, the list would definitely go DKC 2 as number 1, DKC 1 as number 2. And I will admit, DKC 1...
So the last thing here come across there, DKC 1. Yeah, we apologize, folks. We have just for all these technical issues. We're going to work through them the very, very best that we can, and kind of just go from there. Why? I don't know why it keeps
and returns as the 5th.
Okay. Now, I apologize. You cut out for a bit there as well. I just heard you say returns as the 5th. What did you say was your 3rd and 4th again?
Okay, sorry about the 3rd and 4th would be after DKC 2 and DKC 1 would be Tropical Freeze, and then DKC 3 after Tropical Freeze.
Oh, okay. Very nice. And so I guess it's your turn here. We're going to go ahead and do our first boss.
All right, this might be the first legitimate death in this area without looking at Discord, so here we go. But I was going to say early on when you said we opted to play this game. Yeah, and I will say our struggle with Battletoads definitely helped us want to go to a series that we have a little more experience in.
Well, this is a cakewalk. This is a cakewalk compared
to Battletoads. Absolutely, walk in the park.
Absolutely. I'm gonna take some note to say, like, the boss fights in this game are a lot of fun. They really just put a lot of variety in them, and especially when you compare it to the first game, it's a huge step up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I will say, that's one of the strong suits, I think, with Tropical Freeze and the Retro Studios games. I think the boss fights are definitely really creative in the retro games.
Oh yeah, they're extremely creative, especially like you think about Tropical Freeze, and you think of that literally has like that poor polar bear that just wants a popsicle. That's all he wants. You have his whole villain arc right there, just because you ruined his day from
Bassmaster. Yeah,
exactly. Oh yeah, that one's a great one. So I'm going to go ahead and let you switch back and still take the next turn here. Jurian, good evening, welcome. I understand. I know you've talked about your love of Donkey Kong Country 2 as well. So yeah, it's great having you here too. Hope you're having a good evening. But yeah, you go ahead and take this next one here, Sam.
Sounds good.
But I'm going to go over.
Is that Urian?
What? Urian, yes. Is that how you say it? Urian?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yes.
I do believe so, but yeah, he's a huge advocate for DKC2. Him and Biz, they really are like DKC entrepreneurs. They definitely have some good taste. But sorry, what were you saying? Oh
no, I was just going over some of these replies. We do have, like I said, just over 300 just on this one alone. I think it's fairly common to say that most people's number one preference is Donkey Kong Country 2. I think that is the consensus number one pick as far as the number one there. And I would say it. And I mean, my own opinion aligns with that, but I definitely say it's deserved there.
Oh no! Darn it. That was an absolute noob. Yeah, I totally agree. And it's funny because, as I said in chat, I had to go over and look at the results. And yeah, I definitely, DKC2 is the top for definitely most all the people. There were some interesting orders though. Like a lot of people surprisingly put DKC3 on the top, or Tropical Freeze.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's definitely some variations with the answers, with the DKC2 being at the top the most often. Mr. Jolson, thanks for stopping on by. Lisa, so thanks for even if you can't stay long, we always appreciate you coming when you can. I guess I'll go ahead and I'll play a little bit here. And
Yeah, take over this one. I'm gonna fix my Discord here really quick so I can actually see it.
Okay.
But yeah, like I was saying, a lot of the orders were like really cool. Like there was quite a few people that were really young, and there's a lot of people. Like I'm in a group, they call themselves the Kongsters, and a lot of younger. There's some older ones, but a lot of younger fans, and a lot of them have like this like newfound respect for DKC3. And it's really cool, dude.
Oh yeah,
really cool to hear their perspective.
DKC3 is definitely a little bit underrated, and Kiddy Kong hate is definitely like it's not deserved. It's just not. Let's see. Sam said he was working on his Discord there, so we might be hearing a little bit in and out there. And we have Thistachio on the line as well. Well, both Urine and Thistachio, welcome. It's good to have you both here on the stream. Okay. I'm thinking part of the reason like this is happening is that I think we need to keep the window up. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I don't know. I know there's one thing I got to do. Okay, I'm going to try it this way and see if we can keep the Discord going more consistently. Sam, are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
It keeps giving you the boot, unfortunately.
Yeah, I wonder if it's something to do with my PC. Like if I keep it minimized, that sometimes it occasionally go out. So I'm going to try to keep it below the OBS window and see if that helps us out here.
Yeah, when I was playing the last turn, it kept showing like Discord was like dropping a bunch, and I will admit it takes a lot of my attention, but I could tell it was going to be doing something screwy. I don't know if it's on your end, like what's running on your PC, but I guess for future reference, I guess we'll have to.
We'll just have to figure that out, I guess. But I think no issues with recording or anything. But yeah, there's a lot more that goes into what we are currently doing right now, for sure.
And I think you were when you cut off, you were talking about Donkey Kong Country 3 and like people's newfound respect for it. At least that's the last.
Oh yes. And we're to say thanks. Was just about and Jay Waldemams is saying there, Kiddy Kong hatred feels forced. It kind of does. It really does to me as well.
Yeah, that's fair to say, Jay. You know what? I feel like because I'm trying to remember. I know if you guys know John I think his name's John Cartwright. He used to be on Game Explain. It's almost become like a farce thing to hate on Kiddy Kong. Like
yeah.
But I don't know. I guess maybe I wasn't exactly following the Donkey Kong Country series when I was that young at the time when DKC3 did come out. But maybe it's sort of an impression of the fans at the time that sort of lasted. I'm not sure.
I don't know either. And then like there's that whole thing for a while that Chunky Kong was dead, and that was just a joke. And people were almost like saying to say that it's because he's a lame character. And then Nintendo very specifically made sure that he was in the Mario movie.
Yeah, I kept wondering like why they chose Chunky, and I was like, what did the meme have anything to do with it? They're like, no, he's not dead. We'll show you he's not dead. He's alive and well.
Yes.
We're just not utilizing it.
What's funny is that this is the only time when I believe there's really a variation on Diddy Kong's little song at the end, where it has a key change, and it just sounds awesome.
There are a couple. So if you're over in the roller coaster in the like the roller coaster levels, there'll be like a sort of the crumbling damage sound effect as like backing vocals. So like there's a couple different variants.
Oh, okay.
Of, like, the whole thing. I adore it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and as I was saying though, I was very surprised. You kind of sort of mentioned it already, but I was very surprised by some of the responses we got and the amount of responses, especially.
Oh yes, for sure. I'm about to go over more of them right here, and I have to say, I want to point out that a lot of people said, like, well, why did you leave out DK64? Oh. Like this one here, like, why do you leave it out? And the Payon games, 64 especially. I know me and Lily Guma are the only ones who like the game, so the revisionism at least makes sense there. I disagree with it, but I see the logic. What's the problem with 64? And honestly, there's not really a problem with 64, other than that it's a completely different genre of game. That's the only reason I didn't include it.
Exactly, and like we talked about this prior to you tweeting about it, but like we could have easily included like all the extended games, but it's easy to sort of say, hey, let's just focus on at least the country titles.
Exactly.
And, rank that. But I do wonder how much this new theme park will reference, because obviously it seems predominantly returns, but I wonder if there will be any references to like more of Tropical Freeze and like the country trilogy, the original.
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna go ahead and switch with you. But I'm kind of wondering that too. I'm just looking over some of the chat here. It's facts, nothing wrong with Kitty Kong. My boy Chunky, yes. Thanks, Lane Jimin. I think that's how I'm going to say it. But thank you for. Do you know who he is? Yes, oh, cool.
Old friend of mine. In fact, before we went and got to meet Grant Kirkhope and the other guys, we for years used to talk about, man, wouldn't it be incredible if we were ever able to meet Kirkhope while we like used to play late at night different Grant Kirkhope composed games. So it's been a dream for a while. He's an old buddy.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm glad you're able to meet him and such. That's just awesome. Let's see, and a few people, and then this one I have up here, people also mentioned, like the Game Boy games, the Donkey Kong Land and the Donkey Kong Land trilogy on the Game Boy games, and I haven't played much of those, but yeah, I mean they're rare developed 2D platformers as well.
Yeah, and I've only played Donkey Kong Land 2, and it's an interesting sort of deviation from like country. Like it's almost, if I'm understanding correctly, it's like the closest they could get to being able to port it, but give it sort of a little fresh spin. But yeah, Donkey Kong Land 2 actually itself was the first game that Grant Kirkhope ever worked on at Rare, actually.
Yes, that is the first job that he did. And I when the 3DS shop was going to be closing down, that was one of the games that I made sure to get, just because like I got to preserve that. I got to preserve the first work he ever did working for Rare. So Josh Wise, your return TF returns 2, 1, and 3. Retro Kaiju, the just excellent retro gamer. He does 2 Tropical Freeze. I would say Tropical Freeze is probably the most frequent number 2, and then it's just like it varies a lot from there.
Yep, I totally agree. But yeah, I definitely think I think Tropical Freeze, as far as returns goes, the return series, that is so impressive to me. It totally deserves second place. Do you want to hit the swanky stuff, or are we just kind of continuing?
We're just saying, I don't really care so much about the swanky stuff.
All right, let's just continue.
Yes.
But yeah, Tropical Freeze definitely deserves the second spot, and I noticed that too.
Oh yeah, it's like a lot of people, it's just there are so many things that went well with it, both like the level design, like and the music by David Wise. All of it just came together perfectly. And I didn't want to mention, I'd say probably a lot of times, I would say though, the most commonly ranked bottom one was Returns, which is kind of like a little sad in a way. I think it might be slightly underappreciated, but at the same time, these are all amazing, great games, and Returns is just maybe slightly less good than the other ones. But I think part of the reason why maybe it is regarded less good is because it didn't so much establish like a lot of its own identity, I would say.
That's fair, for sure. And it was Retro's first attempt. So, I mean, it was the first ever change of tone, sort of transition, a slight bit that we ever got, in the country series. But I will say, I feel like, at least for me, maybe it speaks to some other people's opinion, but I feel like the Tikis being the main antagonists was maybe a part to play for some people's opinion on that.
Yeah.
For me, it definitely... It definitely was.
Yeah, I would say, like, as far as retro games, the Snowmads were definitely much stronger and more like the classic style than the Tikis were, and I think that's part of what people are thinking there. And I want to give, though, a lot of credit where credit is due in Returns. Like, some of the level design was absolutely like outstanding. Like, the minecart levels were superb in that one.
Oh yeah. In fact, I think, I don't remember the name of the boss, but that whole minecart concept for like the mole boss fight, like, I don't know, that was really cool. That like a lot of the as you said, in the rocket barrel sections, a lot of those little vehicle sections in Return series are really good.
Oh yeah, definitely, and they were hard. It might be, like, I would say maybe even more so than Tropical Freeze might be the most difficult game in the series. I think a little bit more difficult than Freeze, at least to me. It just. But still a great game overall. And I think also part of what hurt it some was just the fact that, like, it was just remixes of David Wise's work for the most part. Yeah. And so it was the least original of the Donkey Kong soundtracks.
You know, I was hoping we'd actually touch up on this. So, like, and I love Kenji Yamamoto. In fact, definitely one of my favorite composers. But yeah, the rehashes of some of those David Wise tunes, they don't have quite the impact or memorability. I mean, it has the nostalgia. It's nice to hear them. But I will say there was a couple tracks at least in that soundtrack that are really good that Kenji Yamamoto really kind of nailed home with a fresh track. Like I think one of them was called Mast Blast or something like that. It's in a level where you're running on the beach in this. I think it's a ship. It's a ship manned by. I think it's crabs, if they even show who's manning it. But it's just blasting the heck out of you, and the track that plays there is great. As well as, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's a track called Sloppy Sands, which the name doesn't exactly sound like the atmosphere it suggests, but it's a really, really good somber track, like a really good track. Sloppy Sands. So, like, if you guys haven't heard that, definitely look that up on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
There's a couple of hidden gems in the Return soundtrack, but I will agree in that sentiment totally. Like, the rehashes just don't have the impact. They have the nostalgia, but yeah. Tropical Freeze was nice to hear a lot more like fresh tracks, and especially the fact that they got David Wise back was like a super massive big deal to me back in like 2013, 2014.
And Vidia's Gaming Video has joined the stream. Welcome. Good to have you here. And oh man, I lost Ramby. But I'm trying to remember. Is it Pistachio? Is that how you say it? Or just to call it this, or like how do I shorten that?
Hey, Thiz.
Thiz. Yeah, we'll just go Thiz. We'll go with Thiz. But what is Busted By You again? Remind me. Oh no, I'm gonna burn. Okay, I singed my fur a bit, but I'm okay.
That was great, actually. Clutch. But sorry, what were you saying, Drew?
But what is Busted By You? I'm trying to remember what that's from. Thiz just put that in the chat. I'm trying to remember what.
Busted By You. Busted By You is from this game, actually.
Oh, that's right.
It's kind of the Bayou music. I think now on the David Wise 5 tour, they're calling it the Swamp Theme or something like that in his new arrangement. But yeah.
Oh, it's the one that sounds like the Phil Collins song with the drums. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But like, there's that song that Phil Collins like. You're
talking about Forest Frenzy, I assume.
No, it's like there's a song in the swamp level. It has this beat where it's going dum bump 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 bump. You know where how it starts at that bass, and it's just like a Phil Collins song. Oh Lord, and like
David Wise used a lot of that like 80s sound. I actually like Phil Collins a lot and Genesis a lot. So like definitely a cool sound to me. But yeah, 80s sort of drum bass sound for sure.
For sure. Yurin mentioned Windmill Hills. That's amazing. Grassland Groove. Oh. I was so happy that I got to ask David Wise personally about Grassland Groove. That was one of the best moments of my life. I got to ask him how he made his music, and he gave very cool, specific answer. It was really awesome.
Yeah, dude, and I said this in the Battletoads session, but you know, I still think that's super cool that like I kind of wondered that my whole life, because he said like they had a set tempo, and he basically, like, it was a collaboration. Like, they created an alternating tempo and like mostly kept it to the same tempo in the whole world, that like David Wise could kind of compose his song based off of that. It's super cool, dude. And I'm really glad you asked that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Wanted to mention here this comment by just really quick, this comment by Dan here. You might as well ask me to rank my children. It would be easier than answering this. And that's like, and it's true because, in a degree, because like this is just a really, really great franchise.
Yeah. Yeah, and especially the country games. It's like, man, we got real. I mean, I don't want to say we got lucky, but in a way we kind of did. Like, and I think a lot of us, it's not, obviously not all of us, but a lot of us current Donkey Kong fans, most of us who are awaiting a new game. But,
yes.
We mostly fell in love with the series, I feel like, through the country series. And obviously that deviates for some people, but the country series really, I feel like, established most of the fans. And I mean, as well as Donkey Kong 64, but man, I just I can't wait until we get at least some news on like the current state of things, because I mean, it's looking okay. I don't know what you think, Drew, but it's looking okay, what with the movie cameo and the theme park, but we haven't heard much else.
I know it is definitely, it is not, the franchise is not what you call on life support. It's there. It's just being represented. And I think probably a movie's going to come here too. But there's just still that we're just still waiting for the game. And they're coming out in the news again about like the developed one by Vicarious Visions. That was something that was worked on and canceled. That just made the rounds in the news again.
Right. Yeah, and I remember hearing about that, like, I think it was just a little over a year ago. Some people who follow, like, DK might have heard a little bit about that. And then I think his @ is still Gothic Teddy Bear on Twitter, Kevin. He let me know some of that early on, as he had, I think it was a little bit of an insight on some of that before it kind of broke. So I've heard about it for quite some time, but it's really cool that they put together that video. I think his name was Liam, with Did You Know Gaming. And yeah, some of that stuff's really cool. A little sad to hear, but definitely cool.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, one can only hope that Nintendo maybe like took some of that concept and maybe ran with it, but we'll see, I guess. Oh, whoops! You want to switch here?
Yeah, sure. I'll throw you in there. Dang it, I lost my train of thought, but I did want to. What were we just talking about? I totally forgot. What were you just saying before we switched?
The theme park and the modern state of things. And,
oh, yes.
We branched off that.
Okay. But yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see it and see if a new game pans out. I did want to highlight one answer that I think was a little bit slightly spicy take, one by Hugo HP. Anyone that doesn't put TF on the top has heavy nostalgia goggles on. And I agree that Tropical Freeze is amazing. It's my number 2 for a reason. But I don't think you can just discount how good these games are from just nostalgia. You can't just put that, that dismissance on there.
Yeah, no, I totally agree on that one. But like, I saw that response too. I don't know, and I think you might have said something like, well, to each their own or something like that. But DKC2, and I'd have to agree with this, is for me at least the pinnacle of this series. But not to discount Tropical Freeze, because my goodness, dude, some of the ideas in that game are insane.
Oh yeah, they are. They truly are. And like, the only thing I kind of like, I sometimes find the levels of Tropical Freeze just to run on a wee bit too long. Just for my preference. And I think some of the swimming controls, like sometimes I felt like just how the swimming controls worked, just like kind of made me die a little more than I'd like. I think the only 2D platformer to have perfect swimming controls are the Rayman Legends and Origins.
That's actually so fair. And I know we're not doing like a Rayman topic discussion, but I will say Legends is really, for me, the pinnacle. And I say this to people all the time. It's the best 2D platforming water handling, in my opinion. But yeah, it was interesting, the changes that the Return series brought to swimming. And I know they kind of had like a little different control when they brought in like the bubbles, because I guess
the Kongs no longer canonically have gills. I don't know.
The Kong. Oh yeah, they had to give them. That's hilarious to think about.
Yeah, you're like, wait a second. Don't they need to breathe air?
They can even swim as long as they wanted in 64. They didn't care about it in the 3D space either.
Nope. No, it's canon, dude. The Rare trilogy, the Kongs are part amphibious or something. Like they have some sort of gill or something. But no, I was fine with that change. But it was sort of it reminded me sort of a little bit of Sonic Water section.
Oh yeah. But yeah, not to say though that it's like the low water levels are bad, just slightly less than perfect. That's kind of my take on it. So, all right. Like I said, we had a huge number of responses to just this question alone as far as the ranking. I think I'll just go over a few more before we kind of move on to the next question. Yeah, there's just a lot. You can go to my Twitter page if you want to see all of them. Lots of excellent and awesome responses. But yeah, Sam, you can go ahead and try this boss here.
Cutlass. Here we go.
Cutlass. It took me forever to realize that that's like a that's a flaming hand that's grasping that sword. I don't know why. I didn't realize that until just a few years ago.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I'm realizing it now, but for some reason, my fixation, I thought it was just a hand. I'm realizing it's a whole forearm or maybe a whole arm. Maybe I didn't look at that very hard.
Yeah, you can kind of see like a whole arm there, yeah.
And oh my gosh, every time I got my performance right now, I'm just going to turn off the phone and let the Discord take over. I don't need to look at the chat. But yeah, I will say, I do love that thing that's carried over. I don't know who did the animations in this game, but when they encounter a boss, they sort of do that whole Battletoads, like Looney Tunes, eyes out of your head.
Oh gosh, that is so awesome. I've always loved that.
I wonder if that's a Kevin Bayliss thing.
It might be. Kevin Bayliss like has just put so much character into these characters. I love just the cartoony feel of a lot of these Rare games.
Oh yeah, and like the personality that they established just through like how they look and like just the small little animations that we got back then. Like I mean, DK Behind started a whole analytical thing about the whole series just based off almost nothing. Like in the days of Diddy Kong Racing, just saying, hey, there's an expanded, connected universe here. And I love that stuff.
Cool. Now I wanted to catch up on some of the chat coming in here, talking about how Donkey Kong Country 2 gaming's video mentioned how like he loves Donkey Kong Country 2, but it's like it can be quite hard. Animal antics can be a massive pain. It can be for sure. I tried that level so many times when I was a kid, so many. It's kind of just nuts.
It's a great level, but yeah, definitely trial and error.
See, I thought, yeah, and video, this kind of is a good segue into the next question. Vidi says here, he thought yesterday a new 3D DK game should be more like Mario Odyssey rather than the common big open world. Odyssey's worlds are big, but not super big. Yeah, I mean, you could do kind of a somewhat a 3D open world. And that goes into kind of like that last topic that I posted up here. Like, what is your dream Donkey Kong game? And I would say, like, a lot of them mention the idea of it kind of borrowing from the Crash Bandicoot series.
Right. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of like what DK64 was originally planned to be, actually. Was sort of a pseudo, like, 2.5D sort of platformer. But, yeah, in fact, I think you might know this prior to me talking about it, but in Jungle Japes in DK64, that first little intro area where you kind of have to swing on the vines to get to the first, I believe it might be the first switch to open a door, that's the last kind of remaining remnants of that original concept for Donkey Kong 64. But yeah, that would be interesting, for sure.
Yeah, I think it would to kind of like play around with that one. No, it seems like I have this picture here about the last Goth, the Donkey Kong Freedom. It's kind of like his interpretation of what Vicarious Visions was working on, which is kind of an open world Donkey Kong game where they had where you could like surf on the vines like Tarzan and lots of cool little things like that, and he's done little demos and animations showing that kind of thing, and yeah, I mean, I kind of see the potential where it could be really cool to do Donkey Kong like that.
Yeah, I mean, and like I think you're talking about the Donkey Kong Freedom fan
Yes.
project
Yes.
that Goth was doing. Yeah, dude, that was so cool to see. And I know he was inspired by the rumors, the vicarious vision rumors, but I mean, gosh, man, it's sort of like, not to go to a different subject, it's sort of like the Banjo 3 sort of fan project. It's so heartwarming, dude, to see these fans like, look, like, we're not trying to make anything like official here, but like, we all have a passion for this. We want to see more of this. Here's our take on this. Like, I really love that sort of stuff.
Oh yeah, I do too. I'm going to go ahead and read a few. I think I'm going to mention at least a few things here myself. Obviously, I think there's universal agreement on is that the Kremlings need to return. That King K. Rool needs to be the villain again, and whatever we're doing with Donkey Kong, the format of the gameplay or whatever, we need to see the Kremlings come back.
Totally. And I know people have said this, and I don't know totally all the old references. I know they have Minecart Madness referenced in the theme park, but a lot of people are really holding out because there's a few people on Twitter directly asking Universal, like, hey, are there any Kremlings? Is King K. Rool in here? And they're like, you're going to have to wait for blah, 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 but here's some information on the park. So that might be an odd answer, but I feel like we might get a few more references. I heard some people say in the Mario Land bathrooms, they play sort of like the underwater, like, so people are really holding out that there's a chance they might play aquatic ambience in the bathrooms.
Oh gosh, that would be the perfect place to put it.
So,
oh man.
Yeah,
all right, just going over some of these things. TCG Jave says he wants a perfect sequel to Donkey Kong Country 2. Perfect, not meh, not good, not great. Perfect. And I kind of like, if I'm kind of gleaning off what he's saying, it's kind of like maybe even make it graphically in the same style, kind of like a Sonic Mania of DK. You know, do it in that old sprite-based 2D style, and just kind of work with that. And like that could be really cool.
So, have you seen that fan project, going back to fan projects, that Donkey Kong Country 4 thing online?
No, I haven't.
So it's obviously mostly reuse assets, but it has that sort of pre-rendered charm to it, and yeah, some of the songs they've actually created out of the samples from David Wise are actually bangers. It's a really cool thing to see. Obviously, nothing official, but it's really cool to see one of those fan passion things. So if anyone hasn't seen that, I would definitely recommend looking up DKC4.
Oh yeah, I'll have to look that up too for sure. Let's see, Little Man here, or we know him as Rob, or Dank Means here in the chat, but says he likes the idea of another Donkey Konga. Which is like, I think I don't even know if I played that before. I did play the platform one. What was that called? Donkey Kong Jungle Beat? Yeah, I did play that one. That one's actually like, if we're talking about DK games in general, that's actually a pretty solid one. That happened to be made by the same team that later go on to create Super Mario Galaxy.
Yeah, Nintendo EPD. It's definitely, and I forget the creative lead's name, but it's definitely a really innovative, really fresh game. For me, and I haven't played that, but for me, it's just the bongo controls that is the only sort of thing that I wasn't the biggest fan of, but I did play Donkey Konga.
I'm gonna switch with you again here. I just killed you. What kind of a friend am I? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Totally fine. I was actually looking at the chat. I didn't have a single millisecond to react.
No, I literally just switched. You wouldn't have any time. I switched at literally the wrong time. I'm going to switch again with you here.
No worries. But yeah, definitely lost my train of thought there. But definitely cool to see some of these different answers here. But I forget what we were talking about. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're talking about the kind of dream Donkey Kong game. Breadbug here says Donkey Kong 64 reimagining in a trilogy similar to the FF7 remake Rebirth. Now, a full-fledged DK64 remake, I think, could slap. If you take some of the things that were maybe less than perfect about the game and tweak them and made them better, reimagine the idea of 3D Donkey Kong with those same characters, I think you could have something cool.
Oh, totally. And I think, yeah, there's a lot of framework there, almost like those. I mean, not that Spyro was flawed, and and I love Donkey Kong 64, but I think there's a couple things that could easily just be polished out. Maybe like the Kong switching. Oh shit. Maybe the Kong barrel function, or a lot of people kind of say they don't like the tedium of having to walk back to the Kong barrel, but yeah, that could be a great concept to revisit, dude.
Oh yeah, I think so too. And you know, back in the day, people were saying like, "Where's Super Mario RPG on Nintendo Switch Online? Where's Super Mario RPG?" And we got a remake. Similarly, people have been asking the same thing about DK64. You know,
I wondered if maybe Smash Bros. Ballot like gauged a little like data for like actual interest in Geno and Super Mario RPG, because at least from my I'm a very casual Super Mario RPG fan. I love Mario series, but like that game I've only played a little bit on NSL. I've yet to try the remake, which I'm considering getting, but it seems to me like maybe Smash kind of gave that a little boost as far as like in the public eye there, maybe, or at least the demand from the ballot. And I'm kind of saying this as a coping mechanism because I hope the same can be said for K. Rool.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of hoping so as well. I really think the bringing him back to Smash. Of course, a lot of us we're hoping for the same thing with Banjo-Kazooie. Where jury's still out on that one. You know, but it's man, shoot.
The first real both of us dying.
Yes.
So, but I guess I mean, I think we were discussing this somewhat on Twitter, but I think like Mega Man received like the Mega Man 11 a couple collections just after the fact of being added into Smash, but obviously the jury's still out, as you said, on capitalizing on K. Rool or Banjo.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you mentioned here, I'm going to go ahead and highlight your comment here. Don't care if it's 2D or 3D. I'd love a 3D one, either in the vein of 64 expanded or expanded Tong, like the Twitter guy. I just love for Retro to get a third attempt at DKC and finish off their trilogy, maybe with a plot villain element to make it climactic for all six. Like, you know, a Retro Studios game, a third one, but with K. Rool as a villain as a kind of a closer to it all, that would be incredible.
Oh, dude, that would be ideal. And I mean, truthfully, it's definitely diluted to think this, but when they brought Tropical Freeze to the Switch, I was kind of like, oh, well, I know they're adding Funky. Maybe there's some sort of just tease of maybe Retro Studios working on another title, but alas, nothing that I ever heard of. So, but anyway, one can dream.
I did hear a rumor that the Tropical Freeze team was thinking of adding K. Rool as an extra boss in the Switch edition, and then they decided to just save it for Smash to kind of keep the surprise of that announcement there.
That's what I heard too on Twitter and on DK Vine threads. And
I think you need to throw me up there.
Yep, I'm gonna take care of this guy first real quick. Yes, sir. But yeah, I don't know. I never know where people get things sourced, but at least this Vicarious Vision thing seems like it has some sources behind it. And definitely, as I said prior, I definitely still just hope there's a small chance that maybe Nintendo sort of teased the concept and might just do something with it. Oh, geez, Sam.
You can try again.
There we go.
But Gothic Teddy Bear, he mentions here that's actually a bit of a tough one for me. I feel as though going into this game through the expectation checklist and it diminishes the element of surprise. I just want the franchise to keep on innovating and find something unique to say. And yeah, that's a good answer. I mean, we do want whatever DK does next to be something fresh, be something interesting.
Yeah, I think it is really interesting because, like, I know we all. Oh shoot, sorry, I'm gonna exit out of this one. But I know we all like think about, you know, oh, we really want a rehash, or at least we want the Kremlings back. We want something similar to what we had before. But the DKC series has never sort of been stagnant in its originality. It always sort of pushes the envelope or gets a fresh idea going.
It really does. And we have a Rare Fox saying join the chat. Welcome. It's great to have you here. So I just want a quick shout out to her. I mean, she does some fun little artwork. She also has a great YouTube channel. Overall, passionate Rare fan. It's great to have you here. Let's see. Going over just a few more of these answers. I have two great dream games in mind by Krillos here. One, a much more faithful platform to DKC, maybe even a true sequel. The other is a spiritual sequel to Diddy Kong Racing. You know, I can't tell you how many times Rare tried to get a sequel to Diddy Kong Racing going. You know, some kind of spiritual sequel.
Even other studios, I can't think of the other names off the top of my head, but there was, they had this, Rare themselves had this Saberman Stampede, Donkey Kong Racing, and there was some other ones from another studio that got canceled, I think in the GC or GameCube era. But yeah, man, I hope one day at least, if no one else, maybe Playtonic could do something like a little adventure kart racer.
I wouldn't be surprised if that is in their pipeline. I understand what I heard, they are working on multiple games right now. We're just taking a long time to see what they're doing.
Yeah, it sounds like they've been doing that for a while, so I can't help but wonder, because now we're in a gap where it's been, I think it's been longer than the development of both prior Yooka-Laylee games now. Oh, shoot. But yeah. Sorry, I tried to look at the chat at the worst time. I thought I was safe there for a moment.
But yeah, there's a time limit on these things. I'm going to go ahead and do this one here.
I've never actually stood still on them. But yeah, for Playtonic, because I think it was just over, maybe it was 2 years or maybe upwards of 3 years for the development of the first Yooka-Laylee. But of course, they were starting the Kickstarter and starting a studio. And then Impossible Lair was like maybe 2, but like less than 2 years.
That was a short wait for that game.
So now we've surpassed the time it took to, we're right there to pass the time it took to develop both the games. So they got to be cooking something pretty substantial.
Oh yeah, and even Daily Kong on her Twitter page, she says that I have something I'm so excited about that I can't tell anyone about, and I'm just like, what are they cooking? And this is me getting conspiratorial, very conspiratorial. But Kev Bayless was mentioning Banjo-Kazooie quite a few times at the beginning of this year for out of the blue. A guy posted, Aiden was posting about what if you see it at the Game Awards, and Kev was saying it could happen. I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Be careful with us, we're fragile fan base.
Yes. Breadbud, welcome, great to have you here. Oh man, we're getting everyone here tonight. It's been a great turnout. Thank you all so much for coming out.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. But as far as, I don't know, I'm just gonna say, as not to put the tinfoil hat on, but as far as Playtonic's involvement in any Microsoft and Nintendo franchise, I'm going to at least back away from that until I see something else, something substantial to indicate that might be the case. But I can hope. That would be so awesome. And they've definitely got me thinking, because I think at the beginning of this year, Grant Kirkhope said something like, I don't know why some of you have interest in me, but I appreciate it, and hopefully I can put some notes together you'll enjoy here in 2020.
Yeah, very, very understated. It's I don't know, but I when they were just talking about that, and we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. And I would say it doesn't even have to be a full Banjo-Kazooie game. It could be just something that features Banjo-Kazooie. If I think a lot of people mentioned the Dream crossover, Banjo-Kazooie and Yooka-Laylee. Even though there's a section of the game where Banjo-Kazooie features in a Yooka-Laylee game and they briefly cross over with each other, like Yuka with Kazooie or Banjo with Laylee, and seeing all those crazy combinations of what they could do. I think that itself is great potential.
Yeah, and that brings up the old memory of when Andy Robinson, the former Playtonic writer, was talking about how they actually were in talks for a Banjo-Kazooie cameo, and it kind of just didn't come together. So can't help but wonder why. But yeah, it's definitely something I can get out.
Yeah, if they were even in talks about doing it back then, I wouldn't be surprised if they were trying to do something that does. It maybe not a full Banjo-Kazooie game, but something that features Banjo-Kazooie in some way. That is something that would not surprise me at all. It just wouldn't.
Yeah.
I want to highlight Jay's answer here. Once the Retro is a trilogy of DK games done, I always found the idea of Retro and the staff that worked on the rare games to work on a DK to be a mix of 2D or even 2D or 3D or even a mix of both. Yeah, that same thing, that hybrid method. Return form the glory, bring back the Kremlins, give us all the animal buddies back. I'd love to see more animal buddies back, that's for sure.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I think Rambi is the only one that's kind of stayed around.
Yeah, he was the only animal buddy in the retro games. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, you had Squawks, and he was just helped you find things, but that's the only thing that he did.
Right. And I think Espresso's been in like, actually Espresso. One of the weirdest things about Espresso is they were actually in Banjo Pilot because it was kind of the remainder of I think it was supposed to be called Diddy Pilot originally, and he's still in there now. They just kind of left Espresso just in the background there in Banjo Pilot. It's kind of funny, but I don't know if he's been in much of anything besides DKC1 and maybe some cameos. I can't really think of too much. And even Squitter, the spider from this game, has he been in anything? I can't really think of
He was in number 3, but yeah, it hasn't been in anything else.
Right. Yeah, and I think, I mean, we've talked about this before too, but the Odyssey, the street signs in New Donk City, hopefully, I mean, nothing has come from 2017 to now, but I hope that was some indication, having the Kong street names and the Animal Buddy street name.
Well, this is interesting. When you do the animal barrel, yeah, I guess like
I'm realizing that. So I finally got hit, but it did not switch over.
Interesting. But I did want to this answer here, the by Albino Axolotl, a side-scrolling Donkey Kong brawler, and yeah, I can see that. I can see that being fun.
Yeah, that could be fun. Kind of almost sounds a little like Battletoads almost, but
yeah,
that'd be awesome.
I think that would be awesome too. A DK game with Crash Bandicoot's gameplay. I love exploring, but I think that would be the best for DK with the other Kongs, the animals you can ride. Leave exploration to Mario and Zelda. Yeah, we mentioned that. Like I kind of can see that kind of tight 3D design with that, and that could work out very well. Let's see.
Yeah, a lot of people have talked on this, like about regarding Bowser's Fury. That might be something they're sort of experimenting with going forward.
Oh yeah,
the pseudo open world concept with different varying sections that have different varying music, but they're almost like they're levels that are interconnected in the open world in of itself.
I love Bowser's Fury. It's my favorite. I mean, one person mentioned it like that it's their favorite Mario game on Switch, and yeah, it's my favorite Mario game on Switch. I think it's fantastic.
Wow. And yeah, you know what? I've never thought about it, Drew, but I might agree on that because. And not to discount Odyssey, I think Odyssey is a great game. In fact, I'm all about the sandbox Marios, but the moons kind of just felt sort of like they were on clearance sale or something. Like there was just a big warehouse.
Yeah,
big warehouse full of them.
Yes, I get what you're saying there. Just there were a lot of moons, and I did 100% the game. I got every single moon you can possibly get in that game. But yeah, I wasn't particularly satisfied by 100%ing it. And it's a great game though, still a great game. But yeah, 100%ing it was not quite as good as some other Mario games there.
Yeah, and I should go back. I got so close to 100%ing. I just needed to 100% the, I believe it's called the darker side of the moon or something like that. But yeah, that's the only bits I had. But yeah, I can totally see where you're coming from with that. And I think as far as innovative ideas, though, Bowser's Fury, it seems like a really fresh step in a good direction.
Oh, it most certainly is. Oh no! Ah! Maybe you can go to safety.
I think I can get this. Well, my screen blacked out.
It blacked out? Your screen is blacked out?
Oh, there we go. We're back. Oh, this is not a good situation.
No, it's not.
Right, what do you think over after this, Drew?
Okay, can I get away? So, no!
Wow.
It's a long ways down.
That was great. Yeah, sorry about that. It's almost. I don't know if other people have had this happen. I've talked about this before, but it almost blacked out my screen as if it thought I like pulled out the switch from the dock, but then it came back, and yeah, that was great. That was awesome. Little extra challenge for it.
That's interesting.
But to talk about 3D platformers, like that's the thing with Donkey Kong, and like I don't know. I mean, we don't really consider anything a 3D platformer for Donkey Kong outside of DK64, really, right? So it would be nice to see a second attempt at that sort of genre take on DK.
It would be great. They really haven't tried it making doing 3D since then. I would love to see them try it again, for sure.
And yeah, like my response said earlier, it's like, yeah, I truthfully, I don't care. And I think you can get what I was hinting at. I think it would be really cool if sort of, even if the Tikis came back, like if it was all the antagonists we've ever had, I don't know, I just feel like sort of a good climatic thing. Like it would be really
I don't like
really
this
cool.
part. Ah!
Yeah, this is getting us a little bit. In fact, I'm going to be honest with you. We could probably be doing better, but we're trying to focus on multiple things. But hey, there you go.
Yeah, no, we got to another point there. I think we should be seeing a save barrel soon. There it is.
Perfect. But yeah, I mean, if I'm going back to like talking about the Crash Bandicoot 2.5 sort of concept, that could be interesting. But that's the only one. I mean, it could be interesting. I'm just not quite sure about it. I guess if it was like a 3D world style thing, it could be cool.
I think it could be as well, for sure.
But I think for me at least, and as I said before, I would prefer either the full 3D, any type of like take on a 3D platformer, or just give us maybe a final, like a finale for a country. Either way, I'd love it. And I don't know if you bought the Mario vs. Donkey Kong remake or not.
No, I haven't gotten around to that.
Oh shoot! Yeah, see, I haven't either. But that's one that I don't even know, man. It's like almost like purely out of just a drought. I'm thirsty, okay, and I want some content with the old Dragon Ape in it. So I might just pay for that game.
Yeah, it's something. It's something that has the DK character in it.
And I mean, even though it's not a full-fledged Donkey Kong game, that game actually does seem pretty interesting. I did play it on Game Boy a bit at a friend's house, so it does seem interesting to me.
I did play that game on the 3DS. Well, as part of that first wave of 3DS buyers,
Oh, no.
they got some of the Game Boy Advance games, and I played it on there.
All right, and see, that was my first experience. This is actually almost like an admittance thing. But like my first experience with Donkey Kong Country 3 was not on the native hardware. It was actually on the Wii Virtual Console. I didn't end up playing Donkey Kong Country 3 until I was in high school.
Huh.
So yeah, that was one that I didn't actually grow up with. But playing it as an adult, much like my experience with Conquer, it's just a really cool like renewal of my appreciation and passion for like the old Rare developers.
Oh, it really is. I mean, Donkey Kong Country 3, I don't know. I've been minding to play that again as well. So maybe we'll have to see here.
Yeah, honestly, it's in the cards, my friend.
Yes. But yeah, Donkey Kong Country 3 is great as well. I would say I would put it a little bit even. I don't know. Like I said, it's hard for me to choose between the first and the third one. Both awesome games in their own way.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think maybe this is not. Maybe it's a hot take. Maybe it's not. But the bosses in DKC3 are not my favorite in the series.
Yeah, they're kind of. I don't know. Yeah, they're kind of weird. I mean, the first barrel, the first boss is a barrel that burps.
Yeah.
It's like yeah. What?
I mean, it's very on brand for Rare, but like I don't know, man. Shout out to the snowman in Donkey Kong Country 3 for like giving me rage as an adult playing a Donkey Kong game.
Oh my gosh.
That stuff is tough. Oh, whoops. Why not make this one?
Oh, you got time. You can do it. You can do it.
I'll just wait it out.
You did it.
But yeah, that DKC3, I mean, going back to our list, I still truly think that has some really insanely good ideas and some really good music. But as far as like, I guess sort of the tone more than anything, and the music, it just for me personally, I prefer the other two. But I think 3 is a really, 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 really great entry. In fact, much like DKC 2, it's very individually unique to that title. Like going to what seems like Donkey Kong Canada.
Oh yeah,
was really cool.
That is really cool. I'm going to go ahead and go save here.
Yeah, but I think we have 3-1 still. Yep.
Then Viddy here mentioned the DKC 3 boss is interesting. The spiders a surprise jump in difficulty, as is that big underwater boss. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that spider boss gave me a lot of trouble.
But like, I think the song is called Rock Face Rumble. I think it might be, there's a few David Wise tracks in DKC 3, but there's a ton of Evelyn bangers in there as well. Like Evelyn Novakovic, which used to be known as Evelyn Fisher, did some insanely good work in DKC 3 because she kind of took the reins on that one.
Mm-hmm. Man, this has been awesome. I did want to mention Evelyn Fisher. Yeah, did awesome music in the third game. Also did some great tracks in the first game as well. So sadly here, Sam, we're at a point where, at least for this particular session, I think I'm running a bit short on time here. But man, this has been so much fun. Do you have any last final closing thoughts about DK or anything you wanted to mention?
Man, not really, but hopefully we can pick up this session. I will say regarding Donkey Kong that, like, I think that we're in a good place right now, as we said prior, and I don't know, man, I think it's only, I've been saying this for 10 years, but I think it's only a matter of time. Like, things are lining up more than are just, like, tinfoil hat theories. I mean, what with the Mario movie cameo, we still have remake titles coming out, like the re-release of Tropical Freeze and Donkey Kong vs. Mario, or Mario vs. Donkey Kong, rather. In this theme park, I feel like we're in a good place. So hopefully they'll give us Donkey Kong fans a little fan service here the next couple of years, or maybe to the Switch 2 launch. Who knows? But yeah, this has been really fun, Drew, and hopefully we can continue.
I think I am intending. I think we are going to play through the rest of this. As far as I mean, I don't know if we'll go the extra mile to beat the Lost World and all that stuff like that. But like, yeah, I totally want to. I totally want to get through at least the main base game of this. And yeah, this has been a lot of fun. And we'll announce a future time when we'll play this again. Maybe we'll have a few extra questions that we'll be posting out there as well for us to discuss. If you guys haven't done so already, be sure to go ahead, drop a like on the stream. You can, if you join in the middle, you can rewind to play back from the beginning, so you can catch the rest of our conversation. Be sure to subscribe so you can be notified of those future videos. Well, and again, we'll be announcing a future time for the stream. And you all have an excellent, awesome, and amazing day. Bye, everybody.
See you guys. Well.